Hey guys, so it looks like they had dropped a blog post for Modern Warfare 4 DMZ. I know we all been waiting for this. I thought it was gonna come out tomorrow because I seen everybody talking about June 7th. So I figured let's go over it together. So I've been going over it. It seems like DMZ is going to be a continuation after the campaign. It says that DMZ Call of Duty is an extraction shooter, which we all know. Living world with unpredictable enemy encounter, weather, and objectives, all brought together by meaningful match to match progression and inventory system. Whether you play to infill solo or with the squad, this volatile conflict zone offers numerous paths to choose from. So it says, after experimenting and getting players' feedback from the original DMZ beta, Modern Warfare 4 evolves the extraction shooter into a deeper, more cohesive, and more persistent combat experience shaped by what resonates most with players. Set in the Hajin exclusive zone and tied directly to the events of the campaign, players deploy into a volatile exclusive zone, choosing how to survive. Whether you're pushing deeper into dangerous territories for greater rewards, hunting high value targets, defending against escalating enemy threats, or completing story missions, or extracting before the situation becomes untenable. So, DMZ settings. So, into the exclusive zone summary, it says enter a contested exclusive zone as an off the books asset tasked with securing advanced military technology before it falls into hostile hands. So it says, following the events of Modern Warfare 4 campaign, an exclusive zone across the Korean peninsula remains saturated with abandoned military technology, weapon stockpiles, and destabilizing threats. Operating as a shadow CIA asset, you are deployed beyond enemy lines and tasked with securing the various weapons and technology left behind before they fall into enemy hands. So both rogue operators and enemy combats are active throughout the zone, forcing every squad to decide when to cooperate, when to engage, and when to disappear before the tension escalates. So it's basically loot, fight, negotiate, betray, and extract whatever you can carry. So it says DMZ settings, the new frontline. So summary. Let's see. A dense exclusive zone built around exploration, discovery, and high risk player driven operation where environmental storytelling and hidden discovery reward players willing to push deeper into the unknown. So it looks like if you go into the unknown and you complete this, it looks like we're gonna get rewards. Nestled within a tri-point region bordering Russia and Korea Peninsula, Hajin, if I'm saying that correctly, is a contested exclusive zone where rival forces battle for control of abandoned military technology and strategic assets left behind after the events of the Modern Warfare campaign. So they're basically definitely trying to tell you this is going to be a continued storyline from the campaign. It says that the atmosphere within the Hajin exclusive zones can change base environmental effects, creating new opportunities and challenges on every run. Sudden downpours can reduce visibility and force operators to adapt how they explore, move, and engage. While defense fog banks and overcast skies transform familiar routes into tense navigational gambles. So it looks like the weather is going to affect how we also play the game as well. Scared by radiation, mass evacuation, and the collapse of civilization, the region is one of the largest and most ambitious Call of Duty environments ever built, designed around exploration, storytelling, high risk operations from the erratic fallout reactor and the highly secure prison complex to the remains of the Hajin city and the heavily defended military base. Every region inside the border area and exclusive zones offer different combat opportunities. It says that sealed or secret areas waiting to be discovered, traversal challenges, and points of interest with unexpected entrances, accessibility only via water, and other operational risks. Players willing to push deeper into the unknown can uncover hidden mystery, pursue high value gear, and engage increasingly dangerous missions with greater risks and rewards. So it says DMZ operations, story mission. So operations pushing the narrative forward is going to be the continuation. It keeps saying continuation of the campaign storyline. Then we have DMZ operations, dynamic operations, side ops, and free roam. So activities that evolve every match. It says take on operations featuring evolved scenarios, escalating threats, and climatic moments unique to every match. So they say every match that you're going to play is not going to be the same from what I've heard. So it says before deployment, your objectives in DMZ are clearly defined, a focus on story missions, engaging in dynamic operations, and free explorations across Hajin, but no plan is guaranteed to last. The unpredictability nature of DMZ often demands quick adjustments as situations evolve in the field. Whether you decide to stay covert or bring the fight directly to your enemies, every match is an opportunity to push deeper, uncover valuable intel, hidden secrets, hunt from down rogue enemy operators to build your basically your infantry. Dynamic operations are multi-step objectives generated for each match and designed to create focused tasks from neutralizing abandoned weapon programs, securing assets to high-risk rescue operations, and assault against hostile forces, replayability, and large-scale moments capable of impacting activity across the wider region. So even a seemingly routine task can lead to intriguing explorations. Side ops are often available and include activities like locating trucks, have advantage functionality once they're repaired, locating lost supply drops, scaling damaged radio towers. There's freedom to explore like never before, even into sectors of extreme danger like the area of heavy fallout in the eastern part of the map, where it takes a gas mask and gumption to find loot only available in this point of interest. So it says beyond these operations, free roaming exploration for players who want to forge their own path, preserving open-ended freedom that defines the DMZ experience, whether hunting rival operators, scavenging for resources, hunting down dangerous lieutenants, accessing phones to initiate dynamic operations, commanding casino while attempting to break into the vault without attracting rival squad attention. It's basically simply surviving long enough to extract the side tasks, add wealth of unpredictability and player's choice. So it says DMZ, a living world, low and slow or fast and loud. Players will decide how to approach, moving low and slow through hostile territories, risking everything with an aggressive assault or something in between. While dynamic world systems respond to every action, vehicle convoys move across the roadways, air traffic fills the skies, hostile forces are constantly repositioning, and strategic assets with enemy factions and rival human squad battling for control of key locations. Every operation can evolve into unexpected ways, so it can represent an extreme opportunity for exploration. DMZ also benefits from the advancement in movement and combat systems introduced into Modern Warfare 4, including enhanced traversal options like climbing pipes, navigating the environmental obstacles with fluidity, alongside refined weapon handling, ballistic authority, and other mechanics that carry across the broader game experience. So this is how we will advance into enemy combat intelligence. So improved AI combats allow for larger combat spaces with coordinated enemy squads, reactive combat behavior, and more dynamic infantry and vehicle encounters. So it's basically it's going to be the same as multiplayer, have the same movement, same interaction, which is kind of cool. Modern Warfare brings a new level of combat density beyond anything seen in Call of Duty before. Hostiles throughout the exclusion zone are guarding key areas, traveling in convoys, flying in choppers, and moving in large squads. So it says new squad generation systems help AI adversaries move beyond individual enemy behavior, with units that coordinate, navigate, react, and pressure players more convincingly. Approach AI enemies and expect them to take cover, hold position, freeze, or try to break your line of sight. So it's basically going to be like if you're playing with an actual player. Combined with advanced in-game engine physics and squad vehicle interactions, these systems make combat feel more active and unpredictable, opening the door to new forms of gameplay. So the escalating threat push the world and it pushes back. So the escalating threat levels trigger stronger enemy response, increasing danger reinforcement, and elite enforcement sent to hunt players down. So the hostile threat across the range from ruthless lieutenants leading to specialized units to roaming commander enemies that include tanks, drone swarms, Deathstalker, helicopters, juggernauts, elite strike teams. The DMZ threat system tracks players' activity and escalates enemies' response as operators attract increased attention inside the region. As threat levels rise, enemy forces mobilizes to reassert control, deploying increased danger reinforcements to hunt players down. These forces include attacked helicopters, dangerous and heavily armored troops, and eventually enemy Deathstalkers being dispatched to chase you down. I'm kind of hoping with all this AI that they're talking about and how it's going to be consistent with like a regular player, I'm hoping that it's going to be an equal balance between a regular player and also AI, and that the AI doesn't overpower the gameplay. That's just something in my thought. It says survival depends on more than firepower alone. Success comes from strategy, adaptability, and controlling the pace of combat before the engagement spirals out of control. One of these ways is using the stealth meter, a system that assists solo players particularly well, and it helps you control combat when facing AI enemies. So if you're close to being spotted by AI, expect an audio cue and an indicator on your HUD that changes from white to yellow to orange. Hit the deck or get back into cover to prevent observing hostile from being alerted. So that's kind of cool. So progression, forwarding operating base before and after every extraction operation inside the DMZ, players return to their forward operating base. A control HUD built around preparation, progression, long-term squad support. It gives you access to key operational services, including the 3D printer crafting station. Oh, that's kind of cool. The stash where inventory items can be stored. From deployment, weapon purchasing, a firing range, a bounty boards, and additional upgrade systems that unlock over time. So it seems like we're going to be able to craft some stuff with the 3D printer. It also serves as a staging ground and social hub where squad members can regroup, rearm, inspect their operators, assist with onboard newer players, and prepare before deployment. As players earn XP, complete missions, progress through trait systems, gaining the reputation and skill set of an elite tier 1 operator over time. So the forward operating base evolves alongside you, unlocking new functionality while visually transforming to better support your growing capabilities. The backbone of DMZ access to following via the physical FOB space and streamlined menu. So they're going to have orders and objectives, stash and loadouts, wallet, the 3D printer. So the 3D printer is capable of manufacturing a vast array of functional equipment and support gear. There's going to be more details later. It's excluding primary, secondary, and melee weapons. So it says recipes unlock the ability to use component resources to craft a variety of gear like night vision goggles, a ballistic vest, backpacks, consumables, kill streaks, and other specialized equipment. There's also going to be a gunsmith, a weapon vendor. The firing range is going to be in first person. Active duty operators, so you can check out your operators. The boss board, which they were talking about. Let's see. Lieutenant dog tags. Exfilling with these spoils of combat help populate your boss board, and it's helpful for you to continue success as an LT killer. The bounty leaderboards, it's gonna monitor the most dangerous rival players. So there's gonna be a bounty board as well. Deployment, before deploying into dynamic operations or free roam, your squad can choose how to infill with the paid infill system. You can go in quiet, on foot, fast and loud in a helicopter or a large plane? Do you have the need for a vehicle to drop with you? The game got you covered. So basically, it's going to give you an option how you want to deploy in, and basically how you're going to play your game, which is kind of cool. Active duty operators. So DMZ is going to feature a dedicated progression system built around a persistent inventory and long-term operator growth. So within the FOB active duty menu, players can create multiple operators as active duty slot systems return from DMZ beta. It says with each operator owning a backpack and loadout, it says persistent through multiple deployments, and customize them through trait system, assembling a roster of professional recruits suited for different mission types and playstyles. So the more players accomplish, so it's basically the more that you accomplish, the more XP, more progression rewards that you earn is going to encourage more risk taking and deeper exploration. So these multiple layers of progression provide a deep and rewarding experience. So you're going to have global players and DMZ XP, which is the story mission, dynamic operators, and side ops are all excellent methods of attaining XP, along with additional activities and enemy takedowns. This is irrespective of whether you're successfully exfil or not. There are no XP penalties for dying during a match. And then you have DMZ XP. So it says all XP earned in DMZ upgrades your FOB, unlocks new stations in your FOB, and ranks up your operator. So this allows you to unlock game-changing traits to customize your playstyle, which I think is really cool. So it says within active duty station, players can spend earned trait points, individual operators to improve their effectiveness across a variety of disciplines, utilizing from a roster of persistent characters, earn trait points during missions, and invest them into one of the 3 trait trees. It says each learning into different skill sets related to combat, scavenging, or other capabilities. It says the points are tied to the operator who earns them. Unlock traits along with passive benefits that allow you the freedom to specialize individual operators for specific roles, including proficiency in PvP engagement, infiltration, looting recoveries, or cash mule. So guys, so whatever operator you're basically gonna go in, it reminds me of Endgame. What you go in with and how you build your character and how you want them to play style is basically it. So make sure the characters that you like to play with are the ones that you're leveling up. So it says looting. Looting is a core part of progression in DMZ. Build around meaningful resources, gathering that rewards. Players who learn the region, study the map, understand where valuable resources might be found. Finding unique ingredients becomes a major focus, especially as you learn recipes. Combinations of ingredients allow creations of better gear. Hunting for rare ingredients that build more powerful equipment, like printing your kill streaks, your plate carriers, your backpack types, searching for recipes that upgrade your 3D printer to enable you to print even more potent items, results in much more meaningful looting experience. Guys, I am so curious how this recipe combination, I'm a little curious of like what people are going to come up with. It says supplies and loots are primarily distributed in ways that feel grounded and logical within the world itself, encouraging smart exploration, decision making. Police stations contain combat gear and tactical equipment. Hospitals may have scarce medical supplies. Residential districts offer valuable crafting resources and scavenge materials designed to minimize inventory friction and keep players focused on action. Looting emphasizes player agency, preparation, and risk versus reward. So this is how the crafting is going to go. Crafting gives players greater control how they prepare for future operations by transforming recovered resources into valuable equipment and combat ready tools. So the materials are disassembled. It kind of giving me that Arc Raider vibe where you got to go in and find stuff. I did see that Swag also kind of mentioned that in his video. Extract loot can be used back at your FOB within the intuitive crafting system built. So the categories of gear you can 3D print as follows. Gear, which is tactile equipment such as the MVG or a parachute. Backpacks, packs of varying sizes specializing in carried in your match, so you can create a bigger backpack so you could get more stuff. Plate carriers, you can craft different types of armor vests. Tactical stock up on strategic non-lethal equipment. You have your lethal equipment, so you can create ones that are designed to damage or eliminate threats. Consumables, beneficial items from painkillers to radiation blockers. It says field upgrades, providing tactical support or intelligence. Unlike multiplayer, field upgrades in DMZ do not recharge. Okay, so that's good to know. Fire support items, deployable offensive killstreak support, track recipes, a series of tag recipes you're on the hunt for. So that's kind of cool. So if you're looking for certain things, you can keep it and track it so you make sure that you don't miss anything as you're scavenging. Special items, a wide variety of items used for a wide variety of purposes. I'm not sure what the special items are gonna be. So it says after combat, players can scavenge for dropped arrange many with damaged optics, broken attachments, unstable weapon components, and improved field repairs that affect both appearance and handling. It says high value lieutenants also carry uniquely customized weapons featuring attachments and camouflage finishes. So recovery features. So it says through squads, those squads have multiple options to exfile, from helicopters to skyhooks. Not every deployment ends in success. So it says when an operator is down, they may be rescued, left to fend for themselves, or become lost in action. It says fortunately there are additional options. So they're going to have a tourniquet. So a new survival mechanic is the tourniquet, allowing you to heal to a wounded state if you don't have a self-revive equipped. You won't last long after the tourniquet, so you'll need to apply additional medical items to reach full health. So that's kind of cool. So if you get knocked down, so the MI system, for those lost in action, the new MIA system allows players to expand in-game cache at the FOB and deploy rescue team to recover them and continue their progression without starting from scratch. So that's kind of cool. So if they're back at the FOB in your squad and you weren't able to exfile, it seems like your teammates can come back and it won't affect anything. Gameplay, while remaining a little more forgiving than traditional extraction experiences, it says every infill is still a gamble, with rewards, equipment, resources line until you successfully extract. It says while failed operations carry meaningful setbacks, players continue earning XP, unlocking rewards and traits, and advancing long-term progression. So every deployment moves you forward, but greater success still demands skill and tactical judgment. So it's going to be a PvP, your hunter or hunter killer. So it's basically saying, let's see, other squads or solo players are also deploying, adding an unpredictable human element to every operation as players compete for valuable objectives and extraction opportunities. Every encounter carries uncertainty, so forcing squads to decide whether to engage or to thrive on competition. DMZ bounty system turns every engagement rival operators into a risk versus reward decision. So basically, hunting other players raises your notoriety and puts you in price on your head, making you more visible and easy to track. So it's basically saying the higher you are in the game, all that stuff is going to put a target, whether you decide to work it out. So it's kind of good that they're going to have proximity chat. So in these high tension situations where life and death hangs in balance, you'll need to stay frosty and employ vocal communication to end an engagement either peacefully or you either die, basically. So with an upgrade engine comes a revamped proximity chat. It's allowing you to listen for, to, or mute rival operators within the vicinity of you or your squad, along with the following improvements. So it's going to have distance-based vocal fall off, directionality, environmental voice reverb. So expect to find it easier to hear rival enemies the closer you are. You're going to be able to pinpoint the chatter more precisely depending on the direction of your foe. And then the type of interior structure or exterior will affect the reverberations and echo of incoming comms, perhaps giving clues to where to their whereabouts. So that's kind of cool. So basically, it says it's gonna be built on the same foundation powering the modern Warfare 4 multiplayer, which I kind of said earlier, including refined and fluid movement across maps and expanding equipment and full complement of weaponry, enhanced gunplay, ballistic authority. So it says DMZ brings the full breadth of Call of Duty combat into a persistent extraction experience. So it looks like there's going to be more additional intel coming, but this is just kind of a brief overview. I hope I didn't kind of talk your head off, but I thought it was cool to go over it together. Guys, so what do you think of DMZ?